Hello everybody and welcome back to Manifest with Finesse on YouTube. My name is Manifesting Guy. That is my Twitter, TikTok, podcast, and Instagram. All the links are down below, and my affirmations list and audio rampage email is down below. And today we're going to be talking about manifesting without evidence. As much as you guys don't want to be, you're going to have to be your own evidence, especially in the beginning. But the thing is, you have always been your evidence without a problem, without fail, without doubting. When you applied for a job and got rejected, on your way driving to the interview, you didn't think you was going to get the job. After you had the interview and they said, great, we'll talk to you, they had no negative connotations, you were telling yourself you wasn't going to get the job without evidence, because an assumption is something you believe without proof of evidence of it. So if you're like, oh, I need proof and evidence, it's not an assumption and you don't believe it. And don't tell me you had the assumption, oh, I wasn't going to get the job because I didn't get the last three. What does that have to do with your current moment? What does that have to do with the stories you're telling yourself right now? The past doesn't exist, and it does not affect your ability to create a new conception of yourself in every moment. If the past mattered, we would be living the same reality every day. For the people that are, it's because you let your past dictate your present. You keep thinking about the past and the present with no evidence that it has to happen. You had no evidence that you wasn't going to get that job. Your poor self-concept made that truth for you. Self-concept. How many subscribers did I start with when I wanted to manifest YouTube growth? 0. I kept reaffirming that story to myself for months that I had 0. I want to grow. I would notice losing. I would gain like 7 subscribers and it would go to 5. I remember that so vividly, and I would keep reaffirming it to myself. And then one day I said to myself, after like months of doing this, after like 4 months of doing that, I was like, how am I teaching something that I'm not doing? So in April, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this seriously. Let's just say from January to April, I was telling myself I wasn't gaining anything. And then in April, I was like, I'm gonna take this seriously. This is April of 2022. I'm gonna take this seriously and work on my self-concept. And I worked on my self-concept. I said, people love me, people are subscribing to me, my videos are doing good, without the evidence of it in my 3D reality, because 3D reality cannot show you evidence of something you have never been. Y'all want, oh, I need SP to do this, I need SP to do this. You don't have that assumption that they're doing that. An assumption is something you accept without evidence or proof. You don't believe they're doing it without them showing you, so it will never happen, because what you think will happen is what happens. So that April, like, it was really fast, because I promise you guys, you just have to stop telling yourself the negative story. It's not so much about telling yourself the new story. Obviously, that's super important. But you can tell yourself the new story all day. But if you go back to the negative story, you're wavering and you won't get anything because you're still hanging on to that old story. You have to drop the old story completely. So I started working on it in April. Same month, I had some movement. I had a video it got like 1,000 views, which I know is like low, but I had like 30 subscribers. So for me, that was amazing. And then I kept going. I was like, oh my God, this is working. And the next couple videos, I did like 200 to 300 views. And I was like, I gotta keep going though. I gotta keep going. Because for a second, I was like, dang, like I just did 1,000. Now it's going down. And I was like, I can't focus on 3D. Like, this is what I'm teaching. Ignore it. Keep going. And then in June, through continuous identification with a person who already has growth, who is growing, their videos are getting pushed out, which is 2 months after my first bit of movement, and I didn't give up. I went from around 80 subscribers to 1,000 in 1 week. And then in June, that same month, I got monetized and I started, making money from videos. And then every 2 to 4 weeks for the rest of that year, for the rest of 2022, I was getting 1,000 subscribers every 2 to 4 weeks. I started the year with 30 and I ended the year with 8,000 something. About in a year of having the channel that I did all that. And you know why that happened? Because I stopped waiting for a mirror to confirm me. I stopped waiting for a mirror to show me something I wasn't being. I stopped complaining that I was wearing a blue shirt instead of a red one, and I went and changed. And when I did change, I didn't change because I wanted the mirror to show me something different. I changed that I felt better. I changed that I felt relieved. I changed that I could believe it. I changed so that it would be easier. Once you change the shirt you're wearing, the mirror it's not going to be a shock to you in the mirror. It's not going to be a shock to you that you changed in the mirror, because you changed for yourself. You didn't change for the mirror to validate you, because I understood whatever I'm telling myself has to happen. There is no other option. And if you think there is, then there will be. That's an assumption. I assumed there was no other option. I stopped letting myself believe that the world was telling me who I am. The world doesn't tell you who you are. 3D physical reality doesn't tell you who you are. You tell yourself who you are based on what you're seeing, because a lot of you base your identity off what you see. If it's not like this, then I'm not this. If SP isn't showing up loving me, then I'm not loved. And if that's you, then what you're experiencing in the 3D will continue to be a loop, and it'll never change. And you guys act confused. You don't validate yourself. You don't tell yourself new stories or new assumptions. If the world is based off your assumption and you have the same routine of I wake up, check my phone, there's nothing there, no job call back, no text, no money, why would it show up? If you keep entertaining what you're seeing, what you're entertaining is what you're seeing. And if you try to reverse it to be what I'm seeing is what I'm going to entertain, you're going to be stuck in the loop of the same reality. You cannot give your power away. You will always be in control. I don't care how much you want to dodge accountability. I don't care how much you don't want to believe it. I don't care how much you want to ask limiting questions. You will always be in control. No ands, ifs, or buts. Then in 2023, after all of that good movements, which I did it for me, I didn't do it for the movement, but 2023, I started to slack. I remember I started comparing myself, and then I convinced myself that I didn't really care about how much my channel was growing. I was letting my identity be ran off of 3D. I was like, I don't really care how much I'm growing. I don't care that I'm not getting subscribers. You know, like I had enough, which was true. All I ever wanted was just to have engagement. I wanted to post something and know it would get views and comments. Like that's all I really cared about. Like I didn't really care about how much of that I had. I just wanted it because before I manifested that, I would post a video, it would have 0 views, not even 1. Like the only views would be me. So I was getting a couple hundred subscribers a month in 2023. So I only ended the year with like 12K. So I went up like 4K for the whole year. I ended with like 12 point something. And then in 2024, I said, I'm just gonna get everything I want. I'm going to put my focus. I'm going to manifest everything I want. Like I already know what to do. 2023 was about me learning and becoming that version of myself. So now I know what to do. So second week of January, like 2 weeks ago, well, by the time you're seeing this, it's going to be like 2.5 weeks ago. I was like, let me grow my channel some more. So let's just say that was January 15th. Like I said, I started the year with 12 something. On January 31st, or the morning I woke up on February 1st, I ended that month with 16,000. So let's just say I grew 4,000 just to round it. I did what it took me to do 6 months in 2022 in 14 days. Remember, 2022, I went up 8,000 in 6 months. In 2 weeks, I went up 4K. Because one thing a lot of people do that I did was they'll get growth, they'll get movement, and they'll be like, this is as good as it gets. Or a lot of people think, well, I did so good when I was manifesting a job, and I was manifesting money, when I was manifesting SP, and I fell out of it. I feel like I can never get back to that place. And one thing I kept saying to myself, even when I manifested the first little bit of movement, like when I got 1,000 views in April of 2022 on the one video, and I was like, oh my God, like it's never going to be that good. I was like, if my goal is to have a lot of subscribers and a lot of views, 1,000 is nothing to that identity of me that has thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers. So I had to keep reminding myself that this is nothing to the version of me that has the full desire. You know what I mean? Even now, like 17 is nothing to the version of me that has more. You know what I mean? So just because you get movement, just because your specific person breaks contact, just because you get a little bit of money, just because you get the interview, don't stop. Don't be like, this is as good as it gets, because that's a self-concept issue. You deserve the full package. And a lot of people get movement and start relying on the 3D again. Because when it's not in your reality, when you're not getting movement in your reality, you don't have anything to be triggered by, right? You're just going off blind faith and everything. So then when your blind faith starts working, because law of assumption works, and you get movement, it triggers a response in you to be like, oh my God, I have to grasp onto this movement. Oh, I got movement last week. Why is nothing happening? You have to keep going. I had to keep going. If I would have given up in April, I would have had probably 100 subscribers right now. So you have to keep going. You have to keep reminding yourself, like, movement is a natural occurrence of your identity change. Movement isn't something that is unnatural, that you have to go after. A lot of you guys just want movement. Keep fulfilling your mind with the end. That's why I don't manifest in steps, because people get stuck. A lot of people do it just to see movement so they can have evidence. And then what happens? People only get movement because they keep reaffirming, okay, I only get movement, and they get stuck on it. I don't care if you have little sprinkles of it. I don't care if you have nothing. I don't care if you have 90% of it. Keep going. You guys are so quick to give up on yourself. You have no discipline. Keep going. I made the switch in weeks. I did half of what it took me months to do in 2 weeks, because my self-concept now is even higher than it was in late 2022, because I'm consciously doing this work every day. Every day I have to tell my stories. I don't allow myself to fall victim to 3D. I'm past that. I would hope after 1.5 years, I know how to ignore my 3D. I'm not looking for results. I don't let the numbers validate me. They're just pixels on a screen. It's just numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did that give you anxiety? No, because numbers don't mean anything. I don't care if it's your bank account. I don't care if it's your text messages. I don't care if it's your follower count on social media. It doesn't mean anything unless unless you allow it. And the only way you would allow it is if the world is on your pedestal and you're not. So I wasn't trying to look for results. I wasn't trying to force. I wasn't telling myself the new story to change 3D, because 3D is behind you. Neville said, signs don't precede, they follow. You're not going to get the evidence before you become the new person. And even if you do, that's so behind. Like, let's just say I was affirming I had 10K at the time I had 30. And if, let's just say, I manifested the 1K I did in a week, it wouldn't make sense for me to then go back and align with my 3D. I need to stay at 10K for it to move. A lot of you guys do that. You get movement and then you bring yourself down to align with the movement. You keep reaffirming, SP didn't text me back, or, oh, SP only texted me once, or, oh, I only gained 1K and I want 10. You have to keep going. You can't align with 3D because 3D is behind you. It is not leading your life. So I wasn't looking for results. I wasn't trying to force 3D. I wasn't trying to make my reality be different. I wasn't trying to make what I saw match in here. The work that I did to build up my confidence in myself was enough for me to be able to live in the wish fulfilled independently of what my physical reality was showing. That's why you're doing techniques. That's what you're trying to get to. You're not affirming to force a result, because that is you relying on 3D. And if, like I said, if you keep trying to match what you're seeing, you're going to be slow with results and you're going to be stuck. And you're never going to elevate. You have to be beyond. Like I said in my last video about how to be, you have to know it better. I can't teach you a language that I don't know better than you. You have to know the language better. Your 3D follows you. So you have to know the new story better than your 3D, because your 3D doesn't control. It doesn't create. I don't care how much you guys keep trying to talk about 3D. I'm not talking about 3D with you. If you want to talk about 3D, this is not the place for you. Don't hit me up. You have to know the new story better than 3D is showing it, because 3D only shows what you know. So for me, I was living as the person with the growth, with the engagement as much as I could. I posted consistently. I was showing up on YouTube as if I had millions of subscribers. Like, do you know what it's like posting for 0 subscribers in 3D if you're attached to 3D? It's discouraging. But that's why we don't rely on 3D. If you only rely on 3D, you're never gonna feel better. You're never gonna feel good. So stop doing it. Show up like you already got it, because it's inevitable. If you know it's inevitable, it has to happen. Because you create. If you're a person that likes to go live stream, I don't care if it's video games, live streams, I don't care if it's on TikTok, Instagram, I don't care if you have 2 viewers and one of them is your mom, you need to talk to your audience like you got 1 million. I don't care if you have 0 viewers in the chat. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I don't care what your 3D is. Like I said, in 2023, I focused on my 3D and I got nothing. End of 2022, I didn't, and I got a lot, and I changed, and it completely changed my life. 2024, in 2 weeks, I wasn't focused on 3D, and it completely changed my life because my self-concept got better. So if you're showing up differently right now than the person you would be if you had a business that was selling out, if you had the job of your dreams, if you had the money of your dreams, I mean, in your thoughts, in your behaviors, in your attitudes, in your inner self-talk, in the conversations you have with people, if you had your partner, if you had your desired weight, if you had your fame, if you were famous, that is your problem. You show up based on how circumstances show up, but your circumstances show up based on how you show up. You're in control. You're leading the train. You're the conductor. Because if that's how you're operating, you're going to base how you're showing up based on your circumstances. You're a slave to your own identity. You keep selecting the identity that you don't have it, and you get confused why you don't have it. Like, you're a slave to yourself. You're allowing yourself to be controlled by your own crappy self-concept. An algorithm, the number on a scale, a bank account, a text on your phone, or lack thereof, does not define you. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. You have to tell yourself. You guys keep asking, how do I believe in myself? Tell yourself that you do. That's all I can say. That's how I do it. So I don't know any other way. Tell yourself. Tell yourself. An assumption is a belief you believe without evidence. Beliefs are ideas and thoughts you keep repeating to yourself. Keep repeating to yourself that you believe in yourself. I don't care that you don't feel it right now. Obviously, you're not going to feel something you haven't even made your brain aware of. Your brain can only believe things that you keep telling it. So start. You guys want to cross the finish line without even starting the race? That's not how it works. Start. Take it from me. Don't be in a loop where you're stuck for months in a 3D you don't want because you don't want to tell yourself good stories. Because you want to move with the 3D instead of being beyond it. Because you want to believe in your 5 senses instead of transcending them. Don't be controlled by what you're seeing. Be controlled by who you're being. Bars. The train does not move unless the conductor steps on the gas. Your identity is the gas. You want your reality to pick up? Stop doing it for the reality to change. Do it for you to change. I need you guys to stop separating yourself. You are in control. You are in control. You are in control. Stop asking me how to change 3D. I'm not answering the question. Stop asking me how to change your SP. Stop asking me how to change your money situation. Stop asking me how to change your appearance. Tell yourself the story. Change yourself. Do it for you. 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 That's how you need to persist to yourself, so that you can feel it, so that you can identify with it. I don't want to hear that you have trouble with identity work. That is self-concept, and that is all I talk about. You have to see yourself as worthy, and you get there by telling yourself you are. Nobody can convince you different. Assumptions are things you accept as true. Your 3D isn't going to convince you. I don't care what shows up in the 3D. You can get SP and you'll self-sabotage it. Ask any one of the millions of people that have movement and self-sabotage it. You're one of those people. Like, you receive movement and then it doesn't go nowhere because you go back to being a person who's not worthy of it. Tell yourself the new stories. Me personally, I break self-concept down into 3 parts. How you see yourself, how you see that area of your life, and how you see that specific desire. How you see yourself is the most important. Change how worthy you think you are. Change that area of your life. So with me, with YouTube, the first thing I had to do was change my worth in relation to YouTube. I had to tell myself I was worthy of more. I was worthy of engagement. Like, I knew I made good content. So I was like, that content deserves to be seen. Like, I shouldn't be on the low end of this. Then I had to change how I saw YouTube. Like, they love pushing on my videos. My videos always have reach. Like, I used to think, oh, I had to do certain titles, certain thumbnails, certain this. No. The problem was me. It wasn't anything outside of me. And then I had to change how I saw my specific desire, which was more subscribers, more engagement. I always get the subscribers. I always get engagement. Hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people, whatever, are subscribing to me every single day. I have so many views. And I stayed with that independently of my 3D. And then it manifested. And it's continuing to manifest because I'm continuing to tell myself that story. And the most important thing with manifesting without evidence is stop letting your past define you. Stop letting the fact that it's never happened before, or I tried to manifest and it didn't happen. No, you were trying to force a 3D. That is not manifesting. Manifesting is identity selection and sticking with it. So you never manifested before, actually. Or stop letting the fact that you had it at one point, then it got pushed out, affect you. The only reason it got pushed out, stop blaming outside of you for results. It's you. You went back to being the poor self-concept version of yourself. I don't care if they're saying that they don't like you. I don't care if they said you didn't get the job, didn't get into the school. Stop letting that define you. You'll only move as much as you move. Your reality only shifts as much as you shift. So if you can't transcend circumstances, you'll stay in them because you keep selecting that version of yourself. You're a slave to your own identity. That's it. Reality is identity. Stop identifying with the past circumstances, past rejections, past loss. It doesn't matter. A lot of you guys use your past to create your future, which keeps you stuck in the present. So you'll be like, oh, I'm scared because I got rejected by SP before. So what has to manifest? You still being rejected by SP. You have no evidence of what SP is thinking right now. I don't care if he just told you he didn't like you yesterday. In this present moment right now. I don't care about your money situation. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So if you don't have the answer to how things are, if you cannot lay your life down with 100% certainty about a situation, don't tell yourself the negative story about it because you don't know. It's just dumb of you. I don't care what the 3D shows. Stop going off of it. That's the premise of this whole video. Manifesting without evidence means stop making your evidence the 3D. It's what you assume that creates. Change your assumptions. That's your evidence. Become present. I create through the now. The past and future does not exist. If you're not fulfilled with it right now, how could it show up in 10 minutes? It will not, because you only create in this present moment. Who are you being in this present moment? What are you thinking about your desires? You're thinking about them negatively. So what's going to keep showing up? Negative experiences. See how you're the answer, you're the problem, you're the solution? Stop pedalizing your desires. Your desires don't care about you because you don't care about you. They're a reflection. SP doesn't care about you because you couldn't think any worse of yourself. Money doesn't care about you, doesn't care that you're literally going broke, losing your house because you don't care enough to change. The company doesn't want to hire you. They could care less about you because you don't have no self-worth. Change yourself. Signs follow, they do not precede. Circumstances do not matter. Circumstances do not dictate, but you have to face them. Face your circumstances. Stop accepting what you don't want because you're scared to stick up to yourself. When you guys are like, I don't like this circumstance, you're saying, I don't like how I identify with the circumstance. That's exactly what that means. I wouldn't like it either. You keep calling yourself broke, ugly, stupid. Like, yeah, you're not gonna like your life because your life is materializing to confirm how you view yourself. And stop telling me how much you need it. I don't care how much you need money. I don't care how much you need this, that's how much you need to work on your self-concept. But how much you need it is how much you need to change yourself. Define yourself today. What do you want? Who would you be? How would you handle the impatience you have about it not being in 3D? The highest version of yourself who already has it, what advice would they give to this current version of yourself, which is not separate, about yourself? Because stop coming to me. Go to yourself. You should be pissed off with yourself and then change yourself. They wouldn't even be thinking about impatience. They wouldn't even be thinking about 3D. So align yourself with that. Stop asking limiting questions. Just do. Align your thoughts and behaviors with the version of you that already has it. And if you're having trouble and keep giving up your power, again, stop making the focus to the desire. Stop doing it to get something. The problem is you. The problem is you. The problem, every time you want to blame your 3D, blame yourself. Your problem is your identity selection. There's nobody outside of you to be blaming. I don't even like saying blame yourself, but y'all shouldn't be blaming circumstances in the first place because they're not doing anything. It's your identity choice. Do it anyways. Show up anyways. Y'all keep waiting for circumstances to be perfect and they never will because you're waiting. You're deciding. You're controlling. You're deciding what shows up. If you keep identifying with waiting, you're going to be given more reasons to wait. If you're waiting, you're saying I'm waiting for myself to change. And that's why reality never changes. And that's why y'all be waiting for 6,000 years, because it's like me standing in front of this mirror right now and waiting for my shirt to change. Go change yourself. Leave the desire alone. It will not come to you. A lot of people are like, I'm scared to stop focusing on SP because if I do, I feel like he won't come to me. He's already not coming to you. How can your SP, how can money come to you any less than the lack of it in your physical reality? They already don't want you because you don't want to change yourself. They're already not coming to you because you're not coming into this new identity. Go work on yourself. If you really understood the principles of what I'm saying, that reality is a mirror, you would not hesitate to change yourself. You would not be sitting here wasting time asking what ifs, focusing on time, trying to force circumstances, because you realize how useless it is to do that. Allow yourself to be chased. Allow yourself to be the one in control. Allow yourself to receive good opportunities. Allow your life to change by stop trying to force it. Allow means you let it. If you stop entertaining and reacting to the things you don't want mentally, it must stop physically. That's the only answer. If you want success that makes no sense, like if you want to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in days, or have your business blow up overnight, or get random money, then you have to make moves that make no sense. Then you have to have the assumptions without the evidence anyways. If you want to change your life, then you have to have the self-concept that you can have anything you want, even if it doesn't make sense, because you want something that doesn't make sense in your physical reality. So you have to leave the physical reality and go into the mental one, because the mental one is what creates. It doesn't make sense to your low self-concept because you don't entertain the story of you having what you want purely, without wavering, without questioning, without doubting, without checking. It doesn't make sense why you would put yourself on the pedestal after putting everything else on the pedestal for so long. But if you want better, be better. Stop asking what the problem is. The problem is you. You don't like yourself. You can't focus on yourself for more than 2 seconds without taking your focus off and focusing on problems. Your identity selection is the answer. And you know what that means. Stop asking me, how do I get into the identity? What do you think about your desire right now? If I made a community tab post and I said, use this to tell me what's going on with your life, the answer you would give me is telling me where you are. 99.9% of you would complain about circumstances because that's all in your mind. I'm not going to beg you to be a better person because your lack of ability to change doesn't affect my reality. You have to want to be better. It's not about how much you want the desire. It's about how much you want to change. And a lot of you don't want to change. You want SP as a version of you who doesn't see themselves as worthy. You want money as a version of you who doesn't see money as something that's easy to come to them. If the world is a mirror, why would that happen? Change your beliefs about yourself. That's it. And with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you can have anything you want in this universe. Nothing's too big, small, wide, or expensive. I believe in you. You should believe in you. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.